100 employees a day. Believe it or not, that is the number officials with the Michigan Department of Corrections say test positive for COVID-19. And under current rules, those workers can return after 5 days, even if they still have the virus. CW50's April Morton has more.
Due to the recent surge in COVID cases in the state, hospitals, schools, and just about every industry is experiencing a critical staff shortage, and prisons in the state is no exception.
As the state has had waves of COVID, the prisons have simultaneously seen waves of COVID coming in. So that we're on our fourth wave, just as the state is on its sort of fourth wave.
Gout says on average 100 employees, mostly at the state's prisons, are testing positive for COVID daily. He says in most facilities they are able to cover shifts. However, they have sought help from the Michigan National Guard at two facilities, the Macomb Correctional and the Women's Huron Valley facility, which are both experiencing high infection rates.
We've utilized them to help us with mass testing, vaccinations, boosters, as well as provide healthcare functions and other administrative functions at several of our prisons as well.
He says as of last week, the department has updated their return to work COVID policy to reflect the CDC's recommendation for returning after 5 days of testing positive. This means prison staff at some facilities can return to work without needing to test negative for COVID as long as symptoms are mild.
So a lot of our staff want to come back because they don't want to be a burden on the rest of their colleagues who are having to pick up their shifts because they can't.
He says those employees are required to wear a KN95 mask when they return. According to the Michigan Department of Corrections website, there are currently just over 3,800 COVID positive inmates, and to date 151 prisoners who tested positive for COVID have died. The site also lists just over 7,200 staff have tested positive for COVID, but doesn't mention if that's current or overall. Also, 11 employees have died from the virus. Gout says they are taking safety measures within the prisons, including weekly testing, required masks for staff and inmates, and isolation of positive prisoners. April Morton, CW50, News at 10.